You doing today? Hey, this is Johnnie Cole with the HBCU Stroll coming to you live here in the beautiful place of Las Vegas, Nevada. I had a chance to come out here and do a little vacationing and suck up a little sun. But today I got a great guest and I'm going to get into him. But I wanted to first thank uh, Rocky and Keisha. Uh, with your help, they are now the #1 black-owned online cigarette retailer in the nation. And I want to send a shout out to them. They black-owned, and you can reach them at www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com. Now, back to the show. I want to just let you guys know that, black
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
The southeastern portion of the United States has been the mecca of college football for the past week. Of course, we've been in Atlanta covering the SEC since Monday, but on Thursday, July the 21st, it was all about the SWAC as the conference hosted its annual media day in Birmingham with close to 300 members of the media in attendance. The morning began with some positive words from Dr. Charles McClellan. According to the commissioner, the SWAC's overall revenue for football ranks in the top 4 of all FCS conferences and is increasing day by day due to increased interest and sponsorships. Dr. McClellan elaborated on how the SWAC is in its best position financially in its 101-year history.
Hey, and I'm back with the HBCU Stroll, and it's time to bring on our guest, someone that we all should know. This guy is the former CEO of BET. He took them from 4% revenue to 57%. He's been inducted into the Broadcast Hall of Fame. He's a HBCU graduate, and it's something that, that I've been telling you guys that we have special people, and we just got to make sure that we water the people that water us. And we go back to the Dayton, Ohio days. He actually went to school with some of my brothers. His mom actually taught me dancing in the Upper Brown program in the summer. With no further ado, Mr. Curtis Symonds. What's going on? How you doing?
What's up, JC? How you doing, man? Sorry I was running late.
Good.
I appreciate you taking some time with me, man.
Hey, I know you probably making some money and making some strides for this great TV show you coming out with. It's called the HBCU Go.TV. That's right.
You got it.
Co-founded, CEO, owned it, supported by Byron Allen. What else can we say?
I appreciate it, man. I mean, just, God has blessed me on that, JC. I've had a good run, man. I've been in the media business for 40 plus years now. And, now to be working with Byron Allen, and he bought my company last year, and being a part of his growth. We just bought the Black News Channel last week. It's just all over the place. Hold on for a hot second.
Right. Yes, sir. It's no problem. Curtis is a great guy. I mean, he's all about black college. He's putting black college athletics on the map. He was the one that came up with the ideal of, back in the day when I played, it used to be tape delayed. Now the games have went where they're played live. And Mr. Curtis Symonds, he was the one to come up with the ideal that black college had his own brand, and he was able to go out and sell the brand and be able to bring you live black college football.
Well, I think, Johnny, you got to take more credit than that, Johnny. You've been statured in this HBCU circle for a long time, man. And you've had some omen work over your years, man, and bringing a lot of good athletes, a lot of good young men around the circuit of football, man. So, you've been a big part of that. I was just a mouthpiece, and was fortunate to be working for a network, Black Entertainment Television, when I came in and moved over from ESPN, and it was education from ESPN doing all live sports to come to BT, and them to be doing everything on tape delay. And when we started finally doing live Black college sports, it really helped put a new dimension into BET, because now people were seeing it when it was going on instead of 2 weeks later after they knew what the scores were. It was like no interest, and we were able to create, in my opinion, the mechanism to begin to really kick off what Black college sports is all about. And then ESPN's been doing a good job carrying a lot of good stuff now. But I think with the opportunity of HBCU Go Network, which is now owned by Byron Allen, I think we're going to come in and do it right, in the right way, because number one is our culture. Number two is that HBCU Go Network is 24/7, 365 days, all about giving exposure to the historical Black colleges and not just a one-time hit movement.
Without a doubt, I'm big on our Black heroes, and Curtis, you're one of our Black heroes, and I want to put your arm around you and thank you, not just for me, but for the people before me and after me. I've always been big on Curtis, that and you actually took the product and ran with it, that we have our own brand. We got to stop trying to be like somebody else and be like the PWIs and be like us. Our football, our brand of football is special. Our bands are special. Our fans are even special. The pageantry around our games. And I always thought that one of our reasons is, our culturally, that we don't work together. And I always thought that if the MEAC would take their classic games, which is the Orange City Blossom Classic and the Eagle Classic, and then take the SWAC Classic games and put them in a TV package and sell it and be able to make 100 million, 150 million. No different than what the SEC doing. But what has happened is that the MEAC has took the banana in the tailpipe. And they've cut their conference. So does that hurt BCU TV or where's that?
I mean, it definitely dampers a little bit of it. I don't think it certainly hurts us as much as, because we still have it. It's still there. If it all walked away, yes, then we'd be really dampened. But I think we have an opportunity to begin to start reinstating what the opportunities could be. I mean, you can't fault universities at this point, because everybody's trying to make a dollar. If someone's going to offer you, you're only making $1, and someone's going to offer you $100, you're going to go with the $100. Okay. Right. But if something starts to rev up to where it makes sense in what you're doing, I think that, people will start readjusting their thoughts and say, okay, well, wait a minute. Now I got a true destination here. And now I got somebody who's willing to help support it in the right way financially. So I think there's still some opportunity here. I mean, our job, in my opinion, with HBCU Go Network, is to show people we can do it right. I mean, the eye is going to be on us come September, when we first kick off doing our real Black college football. And so we got to come out really, really, swinging and make it look like a really good production where people look at it and say, damn, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, this ain't something that just look like it's been shot in a box. This is television. Right. So that's the key. And I believe if we can start getting that going, Johnny, and then also be able to bring on more and more things, more events around our audience in the HBCU circle, we'll start getting more people pointing to it to say, hey, I need to figure out how to be a part of this network. I need to be involved with it. And I think that the owner of this, Byron Allen, is a major supporter, man. And he's going to be preaching it very strongly on, he just wants to help do the right thing.
Right. Well, I mean, one of the things our presidents and our athletic directors is got to do a better job in funding. And we got to find ways that we can fund these athletic programs. I know my experience being around and being at some of the schools, they actually take, and I'm talking about facility wise, for football stadiums, they have to take one side of the stand and put the PE part below it, so you can get some educational funds for the state, so you don't have to come up with the cold dollars. So I think that higher part of our HBCUs got to be more creative about coming up with monies to make sure that these football programs and these basketball programs are able to survive and represent.
I think you're right on point. I mean, I think that one of the biggest things that we need to come full circle with HBCU schools is help themselves in promoting themselves better. That's one of the things that we have not done historically across the board of all the 107 universities. We have basically been in a box, just kind of managing our business, and we've got to expand that thinking, Johnny, because unfortunately, the George Floyd situation opened up a lot of doors, many doors. And now we need to take advantage of those doors starting to crack, and be able to understand that we've got to run these universities like business and not just saying we got a good education. And I think if we can start instilling that and looking at the opportunities to, partner up with some of these major corporations, some of these major foundations, and spread that across the board, not just the top 10, the Morehouses, the Spelmans, but all the universities.
Yeah.
Then we start seeing some benefit. And then trying to get the universities to now also spend a little bit more time paying attention to their facilities. That's key, Johnny. I mean, key. Facilities right now are key. And you're trying to, as you know, when you're trying to recruit a kid in today's world and you don't have the facilities there, how are you going to get them?
Right.
You know what I mean? How are you going to get them?
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things that, we've got to help to get the universities to improve on, Johnny, down the road.
Well, yeah, because one of the things too, it goes even a little farther than the president. Our boards got to understand that universities now are businesses.
Yes.
We still kind of stuck in the way of our president have to have a doctor's degree.
Yes.
No, he doesn't have to teach anymore. Yeah, if you find a president on campus all the time, then he or she is not out raising funds, and raising monies. And I think we got to do it together. I think the commissioners have to come together as well, and we got to go to these businesses. We Black folks, African Americans, spent over $300 billion last year in fines and goods. Right. I'm pretty sure somebody owed us some money, don't they?
Yeah, ain't no question. You're right about that, Johnny. You're right about that, man. Ain't no question about that.
Well, let's go real back with your Central State days. I got the word on you. They told me you love to spin that ball now. I love that ball too. They said you could spin it. They said you was the point guard or something. Tell me about them days.
Oh man, it was good times, man. I'm really, I really slap myself sometimes, Johnny, because we both grew up in Ohio, man. You were Dayton, I grew up right there in Wilberforce, man. And when I first came out of senior high school, man, it's sad. I really didn't want to go to Central because I lived there for so long. But I didn't play high school basketball. So I wanted to try to figure out where an opportunity lied that could get me in the door. And fortunately for me, my first 2 years, I was at a Catholic school in Indiana, where I ended up Division II school called St. Joseph College, where I played my first 2 years walking on, and got to varsity in my freshman year. And then I transferred after my sophomore year and came back home to Central, which was one of the greatest blessings I could have ever done, and wish I'd have been there all four. And I had a chance to, run point guard for 2 years there, man, and play with some incredible guys, man. And we had some great bump, man. It was a great time, man. I have some friends that are still guys that I play with, man, that we like. You know how it is. HBCU is family, man. So, we'll never give up that bond, man. But I used to be able to get them down the court, Johnny. It wasn't too bad back then. I couldn't shoot it, but I could handle the ball and play some defense and get to the rack and get the ball in the right people's hands. Let's put it that way.
Well, I had to go dig in the archives and start talk to a couple people, and they told me where your first love is, and that's how I'm kind of jumping. I'm like, well, he didn't graduate with a marketing degree,
Right.
but he makes his living in a marketing degree.
Right.
But
right.
and that's why I say you are our hero, and we need to make sure that we let folks know who you are. Tell us how that happened.
Well, it was a blessing, Johnny. I've been fortunate over my career, man. It just happened to be in the right place at the right time, man. So when I came out of Central State in '78, I was a part-time manager at a sporting goods store in Beaver Creek, Ohio, which you would know down the road from Dayton.
Yeah.
And they were smart. They promoted me to manager as soon as I graduated. And so here I am in the love, selling sporting goods, being able to wear that stuff every day, getting gym shoes when I wanted them, sweatsuits, blah, blah, blah. That's where I thought my career was going to be, in marketing. And I had one teaching offer out where you're at today in Vegas. And my mother was like, "Oh no, you're not going out to Vegas. Not at 22 years old. You're not going out to Vegas." So I ended up staying with the management job, and did not know that it was family owned. And the husband and wife divorced, and the wife was the one really writing the checks, and I didn't know that. So the company, split up. And then I was out there, man, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, Johnny. And I went to work for State Farm Insurance for a hot minute, and went to the corporate office as a management trainee in Newark, Ohio, and just did not like the insurance business, man. And a buddy of mine turned me on to cable television. Flat out just came to me and said, "Listen, man, I'm laying underground cable. It ain't an easy job, but it's a nice paying job for me and you." He said, "Why don't you come work with me for the summer and then figure out what you want to do?" So I laid cable all one summer, fell in love with cable, man, and came back to Xenia. I was getting ready to substitute teach, and I was talking to my old principal about getting in cable television. And I said, "Man, I really like that business. How do I get there, you think?" And he turned me on to a lady by the name of Janine Kozad. And this is how the small world works, Johnny. She was my Cub Scout teacher when I was a kid. And we were always close. She remembered me. I literally ran her down on the street in Xenia, Ohio, and told her to give me a chance. And she did, man. And I forever thank her, man, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have had the run I had, man. You know what I mean? I was able to run the cable system I grew up at in Xenia. I ran that for 3 years, left there, went to Chicago, worked for ESPN for 8 years. Right. And then came to work for BT as executive vice president of marketing for 14 years, man. And all in marketing. Man,
I tell you took my blueprint, because as long as I've been around black college for the last 40 years, I've always said that. I always said, why are we always trying to be somebody else? Why, and that was my thing with my coaching career. I could have coached in pros. I coached alongside John, Coach Harbaugh up at Baltimore. I've coached with some great other coaches, but I wanted to stay in HBCU football. Right. And I had a great time. I got an opportunity to touch some kids and meet you and Doug Williams and some of the greats, and that's enough for me. It was a president of Lane College named Dr. McClure, and he used to tell me, see, Lane College is a small animal. See, Texas Southern, y'all big animal, but the small animal got to come out and eat too, but we just come out at night.
Right.
Yeah. So I want, I tell people all the time, man, we're it. We just gotta love ourselves. Their ice is not colder than our ice.
That's true. That's true, John. There's no question on that, man. There's no question on that. You're right on point, man. And so I'm very familiar with Lane College, man.
Where could we get better at? On the black college level, particularly the sports, the actual sports, football or basketball.
I think what HBCU's got to work on, man. I mean, I coach high school basketball. That's where I'm at. I'm in the gym right now, upstairs from a gym.
Wow.
I'm actually in the basketball camp this week. But I think that we've got to do a better job of relating to athletes at a younger age in the HBCU circle. Too many coaches. That's what Deion's killing, man. I mean, he's not afraid to walk into a big time house and say, "Your son needs to come our way, and here's the reason why." And I think a lot of coaches sit back because they're thinking, I can't get that kid, so why talk to him? Instead of saying, let me go in there with all my guns, throw all my bullets out first, and see what happens. It ain't gonna be no worse than if you didn't go in at the end of the day. And I think if we can start adjusting that mentality, Johnny, to have coaches start thinking more about, let me get to this guy early and give him reasons on why he should come to our university, will help stand out and make more sense for a lot of these young athletes. What happens is we tend to let these kids get, blow up, and then we try to come in the door. And they're like, well, you can't compete with bop, 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 bop. And here's what they're offering me, and 9 out of 10, you can't compete with it. But if you go in and you're able to build a relationship early, that's a better key at the end of the day.
Yeah. I look at it at those set of lens you have, and also on the hiring process of hiring head football coaches. Yeah. I know in my experience, a lot of times these ADs and these presidents that want to be the big stick on campus, when naturally that's the head football coach. That's that guy, or the head basketball coach. Right. And these people making these decisions got to stop being afraid of guys with strong personalities. They call them arrogant, or they call them overconfident. Well, those are the guys you want. I mean, that's just the difference between Deion Sanders and some other coach that's in the conference now. I mean, when you hear about the conference, you hear about Deion Sanders, Jackson State. There's other teams and coaches is in this conference that have to do exactly what you said. They got to go out and sell their program. And if you're not going to, and that brings me to, there's only one Deion Sanders. I think he's one of the greatest athletes ever put a cleat on. We got to be careful about not hiring our own, not hiring guys that's coming from black college football that understands that will sit on top of a mountain and say, I love my university. I can say, I love Texas Southern University. And I'll sell Texas Southern University against any school in the country. And if we got away from that of starting to go outside and said, oh, well, if you coached at a PWI or if you played pro ball, you can coach better than a guy coming out of HBCU. And I think that's one of the things that we got to be careful about.
I totally agree with you on that, John. I think you're speaking to the choir on that language. Yeah. I think that we've got to come together, in my opinion, man, as a village, man. I mean, I enjoyed being down last Thursday at SWAC Media Day and just have the opportunity to talk to a lot of the coaches down there. And you've been there for a long time, so you know what I'm talking about. But just look at the bonding that they had as coaches. I mean, it's cool. You get on that field, it's a whole different world. But off the field, the bonding was very great to see. Guys just network with guys, talking about different things. No one came in with no big time attitudes, man. But they're coaches. When they get in the locker room, they get paid to coach. That's what they do. Right. And you've been there, so you felt that world. But I think that was one of the intangibles that I took away, man, last week, was that the fellowship was strong. Yeah. And we just need to let more people know that, man.
Right. I don't think that's the key. When I was a player and used to ride on the bus with Eddie Robinson, Marino Cassim, W.C. Gordon, Otis Washington, all these greats, and just hear the stories and the things that they went through. Yeah. The thing I'm afraid of, Curtis, and I'm so glad about your show, your HBC TV, Gold TV, and people will now get to see black college, because the black college coach will come extinct if we keep going out hiring other people. Totally. We almost like the white polar bear. Yeah, we need an intervention quick. Yeah. Because coaches like myself and in my age should be some head coaches now. Right. And not, we got to change the faces of the people who are making the decisions. 90% of athletic directors and college sports are people not of color. They white. They are white, and they tend ain't got nothing to do with race. They gonna end up harm people who look like them, who they feel comfortable with.
Now, you hit it on the nose, man. You hit it on the nose, Johnny, on that, man. I mean, it's just, I think a lot of times people still caught up in, trying to just hire the names, and not always looking at the total package. Well, this guy played in the NFL, he did this, he did that, and here he is. Okay. But can he coach this culture? Does he know this culture? A lot of times they don't. They don't understand it. Especially if you're an older guy. I'm 66. Sure. I couldn't walk in right now and coach some of these young cats in college because they got a whole different opinion, man. You got to balance that. You got to balance that and make sure you come in with somebody who they truly respect, but also somebody who comes in with the X and O knowledge to say, okay, this is how we're going to run things. And it ain't got to be a Hitler mentality. It just got to be one who you're trying to build a championship with. Right. Right. And that's the one thing I think that we've got to work on embedding in these young people's heads of color about winning. I mean, if they're playing in Kentucky and they're Prairie View, they walk in the game and say, oh, we're going to get our ass beat. We're playing Kentucky. No, man. They put their pants on just like you do. That's all. You just got to come out there and play your game. You play your game, you might be surprised. Wow. But what happens is a lot of people have that mentality going in. And that's something you got to work on instilling. That, hey, we're just as good as anybody walking on the floor. Now, that's a key thing.
Right. In your business and in your position you're in, and I know you got to hire people around you. And I know, the whole thing is about hiring the right person, black, white, green, purple. True. But we're so much and we're so much behind in the track meet, Curtis. You know what I mean? We just got to say, look, don't be afraid. I'm looking for the best black person I can find. And if I can't find that,
right. And you got to be
a person of color. Let me say that.
Right. And you got to be smart, man. I've been fortunate over my years. People always say to me, people now, because I'm getting all these accolades for my years in the media business, say, man, your resume is. But I said, let me tell you something. I'm still a brother that comes from Wilberforce, Ohio, born in Bermuda. Yes. Bottom line, I haven't changed. I'm still the same regular brother. I'm loud. I ain't changed. I've got my mother's personality all the way. But one thing I do understand is that when you put the right people around you, that's how you build something. Yes. I can't do this thing by myself. Yes. I was fortunate to put some of the right people around me who believed in my vision, who I'm taking their vision, my vision from someone else who's running all this stuff and saying, here's how we got to build this thing together. And I was fortunate to put together a good little team that cracked a lot of doors for me over the years. Right. That really raised my name and my brand to another level. But it was some of the people around me. It wasn't just Curtis Symonds. I certainly did not do it by myself. Right. And I acknowledge that every day. If it wasn't for a team of folks over my career, different people I worked with, that's how I was fortunate to grind in this business. Bottom line.
Right. Well, I could say that your name is synonymous with success. Your name is synonymous with giving handouts, meaning giving people opportunities and laying the yellow brick road. How is that for you? Is that one of the things that you like to do? You can sit back now and point out some of the people that you helped put in place.
Well, I don't really do that so much. For me, man, I was fortunate, John, that people gave me an opportunity. I'm all about the opportunity. I would always tell people when any of my people who hire today and in the past, you got to give somebody an opportunity. Okay? How did you get in the door? Someone gave you an opportunity. So, maybe the claw doesn't look right, but it has some resemblance of someone that might be the right opportunity to be given. And sometimes you got to go with your thought. Not every hire I did was right, but I did quite a few that were right, Yeah. But, over the years you learn, but at the same time, you understand that in order to grow your business, once again, you got to put the right people around you, Johnny. You got to put the right people. You got to believe in them, man. See, I'm not a micromanagement guy. I'm a guy that, look, man, here's what we got to get done. This is what you do. Get back to me, okay? Because at the end of the day, I want to be able, when Byron comes to me, I want to be able to say, hey, here it is, man. Bah, 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 bah. And if you need more details, go see Johnnie Cole. Johnny put it together.
We're gonna talk about Johnnie Cole after we get off the show.
I don't really try to take a lot of credit. I mean, it's like when I got the Hall of Fame award in April. I was really gotten the call like 2 years ago in 19.
Yeah.
And that's when the pandemic really kicked up, and so everything got put on hold for almost 2 years. And I didn't really know how big the award was. I really didn't, Johnny, until people, as it got closer to April of this year, people started calling me and saying, yo, man, you realize how big this award is? I mean, we go on a platform in this business. I mean, there's not many African Americans who've gotten this award, number one. And number two, you're going in with some pretty big names. And I was like,
yeah,
okay. So when I got to the event that night, I think is when it really slapped me in the face and really realized that, man, I hit that pinnacle. I'm going into the Broadcasting Hall of Fame, which, my former boss, Bob Johnson, was there. One of my other former boss, Deborah Lee, who worked at BT. Byron is in it, And I started looking at just the little bit of number of African-American men and women who were in, which wasn't big, out of the numbers who they've been inducted over the years. But having that opportunity to walk that stage that night, man, you could have spun it that night.
I keep saying, and I'll say it to the, and that's why, we got to carry you on our shoulders. We don't let somebody else to carry our leaders and our heroes. We got to do that, and I'm glad I had this opportunity to expose you and all your work and your hard work that's done. And that's why it's so important to me and to our people that we gotta start hiring each other.
No question.
And you said you said something that you give a person opportunity to do their job, and then you make sure that you support them. And sometimes you don't always make the right decision. But we got to be real careful about making those decisions, and because we only get that one chance now.
No question.
And I know you ran into some avenues. You want to expand on some of those on your way.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest avenue I ran into in my career, John, it goes back to my ESPN days when I was like 32 years old, and I was the director of affiliate marketing, which meant my responsibilities were to get ESPN into more cable homes. I dealt with Mr. Cable Operator. That's what my expertise was in getting more distribution. And I was going for a job, a VP slot at that time, against who is now retired, but the former president, former chairman of ESPN, George Bodenheimer. We both were in the same position at the time. And, did an interview. It was for the VP slot in New York. Thought the interview went well. They told me to get back to me. Well, that was the first time I got the real wake-up call, man, about who you are.
Who you are.
It was like, about a week later, someone called me and said, yo, man, you going to the Pro Bowl? I said, go to the Pro Bowl. Why would I go to the Pro Bowl? Well, they're taking George out there. I'm like, wait a minute, why are they taking George out to the Pro Bowl? So I called my boss at the time and said to him, how come I didn't get invited to the Pro Bowl? He said, oh, well, we had da-da-da-da-da. I said, well, George is going. And George and I were for the same job. And I said, it seemed like both of us should get an opportunity to go.
Right.
That was when I smelt the roses that George was going to get the job, but they didn't know how to tell me. And so when he got back, he got the job. And that's when I knew it was time for me to make a move, because everyone at that time at ESPN was young, like myself at that time. So, wasn't going to be a lot of movement. So luckily, Bob called me out the blue and talked to me about BET. And I wasn't looking at that time, but it woke me up. And I said to myself, well, you know what? At 32 years old, where else could I go and be EVP, have it on my resume? And if it doesn't work out, at least I got an EVP stamp.
Right.
So,
right.
Fortunate for me, it did work out. And the story's told. I had a great run there.
Right. I know one of the things of reading up on you, of course you said about hard work and determination,
Sure.
but you also said that you got to have a little luck sometimes.
Yeah, you got a lot of luck. You got to have a lot of luck, Johnny. Yeah, ain't no little luck. In this world, man, you got to have a lot of luck, man. And people always call me now about the Byron deal. How did it happen? How did he choose you? And I'm like, look, man, I just had to be in the right place at the right time. And he saw something in me, knew what I'm capable of, and said, I'm gonna roll the dice, put my money on Curtis Symonds.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it happened. Bottom line. And that's what it's about, man. I mean, it just, I've been over my time in my years, Johnny, is saying, you got to learn how to network with people, man. That's one of the things that's been a plus for me over my years, man, is that, my boss, Johnnie Cole, who I mentioned earlier, said something to me when I was young. She said, Curtis, your personality is going to carry you. And I didn't take that serious when she said those words to me back when I was 23 years old. But now, as I'm 66, writing's on the wall, man, because I see it all the way. Because my personality has been the thing that's drawn me to a lot of people who's been able to get me in positions because of people respecting me and giving me opportunities behind it. Right. So, I don't take that at all for lightly. I take that as a sign that says, you must be doing something right because God blessed you. And said, I'm going, knock me down for a minute one time, but he brought me back up. Yeah. But he made me feel what it was like to be down. Time, and we've all been there.
Curtis.
Be able to climb that mountain back again, man.
I climbed that championship mountain, boy. I feel like I fell off of Mount Everest.
Yeah,
I was almost going to grab sun.
Right.
But you about networking, homeboy of ours, Scott Anderson, who started the HBCU production line on Facebook. And that's a good avenue. That's a great avenue. Yeah. That's one of the reasons and how we got reconnected. And if all the Black college graduates would let's just say join that one network, HBCU professionals, on Facebook, that we could be more in touch with each other. I mean, everybody who's been on my show has been some type of connection that I had, some type of networking. And being in HBCU coach, I've been able to connect with a lot of people over my career. So what's next for Curtis Symonds?
Well, I mean, what's next for me, I think, Johnny, is I'm trying to just build this network, man. I mean, that's my goal right now, man, is to get this, before, like I said, I turned 67 in August. 70 is going to be my button, man. When I get to 70, I'm hoping that I got this thing carved up in the way I want it. Okay. Want you to step away and let somebody else take the mantle, man, because I've been on that grind for a long time, brother. Long time.
Well, hey, Johnnie Cole and his show and JM&E would love to support that because I'm big on HBCU.
Keep that in mind for sure, man. I appreciate his offer, being able to be on today, Johnny, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely keep me in mind. I'll keep you in mind for sure.
Yeah, no, and you're in the gym, so it seems like can you still shoot it or can you pat it a little bit?
I'm on that golf course now, John. That's the only
okay.
Because I ain't got to get injured on that. All I got to do is move my hips, brother.
Hey, I know what you mean, man. It's great. So when do we open up? When is open day for HBCU Go? Has it already started or is it?
Yeah, the network's up. You can get the network. The what you gave them earlier. My website is hbcugo.tv. That's my website. You can get this. You can see the network on Roku. We're also on Amazon Fire Stick. We're also on Local Now, which is part of Weather Channel, which Byron owns. Another app that we're on that Byron owns called Sports.tv. We're on that. And we're hoping to be on, and we're on Apple TV. And
Okay.
so we're going to be growing that distribution. You're going to be seeing us, all over the place. Look out for us every day. You're going to start hearing more and more about HBCU Go Network.
Now tell me, is it an app or something that you get, or is it something you got to pay for the service?
No, it's all
How does
free.
that work?
It's all free.
Okay.
It's all free down there. Now, right now, it's a streaming service. We'll have a new app rolling out in August that I think everybody's going to like, because our audience is mobile, always moving around. But it's a network. It's a streaming network.
Okay. Now, are you guys just focusing it straight on the HBCU sports, or just the whole college experience?
Whole college experience. HBCU sports drives it as usual.
Right.
But it's really the college experience. I mean, the one thing that we want to be able to do is show that experience. But the reason why what drove me with this network more than anything, Johnny, is I'm tired of seeing black kids saying I can't go to a black college. I can't. I'm like,
they party too much. That's the one I hear when I used to recruit.
Whatever it is.
Black college want to party too much.
Right. I mean, you can't, talking like you can't get a quality education, man. That's so much garbage, man. I mean, you get a quality education every day. Every day you wake up, you get a quality education. So what's that about? And like I told somebody the other day, the interview, I said, listen, I'm a PE major in 3 Hall of Fames, and so you can't talk to me about an HBCU not having value, because in my opinion, Central State is all that and some, because that's where I grew up. That's where I got my degree from. And that's what I know is a true HBCU. So if you want to do it right and you want to be understood, go to an HBCU. That's the way to do it.
And this is the myth. I just had a conversation with HBCU is just what it says. Historically, black college and university. Historically, it's not all black now.
Right.
You got more people of color in our law schools, in our pharmacy schools, in our business schools, nursing schools, engineering schools.
Yeah.
And all I can know, because when I grew up, remembering all our black leaders, Andrew John, Andrew Young, black college, Jesse Jackson, black college.
Right.
All these guys went to black colleges. Our leaders used to be from black. And now, of course, we got the vice president. Miss Harris is from Howard University. And it goes on and on and on. And the only way we're going to grow in America is that we start loving each other, appreciate each other, and respect each other.
Yeah.
So I look forward to the HBTV. So to go get it, I can go to some of those channels and pull it up.
You can pick it up on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick right off the bat. And it's a network. It's a network.
And y'all will be televising. What is your opening football game? You have any specifics about?
We'll get the schedule out, but our first game will be September 10th. We're gonna do a kickoff show from the Black College Football Hall of Fame on September 3rd. Will be our kickoff show, and that'll be the Hall of Fame game. HBCU Hall of Fame game will be the 4th of Central State against Winston-Salem.
And that's good.
That's in Canton.
And that's your home school, Central State.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask, are they showing you love? Are you showing you love?
Always, man. Always. It's all about the kids for me, Johnny. The yard is the yard, man. You can't take that away from me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I will always be blessed that I had that opportunity to be on that yard. But the yard is the yard, man, for me.
Right. So this is the baby of HBTV Go.
You got it.
We want to make sure that we support Curtis through his hard work and determination, his vision. his vision.
I appreciate it.
And,
I appreciate
man,
it.
I can't say, man. Hey, what are some of the last words that you want to say to the crowd or to my supporters?
I just want to say to your listening audience, you have a great man in Johnnie Cole. I've known him for years, know all his brothers. And please tune into his show, the HBCU Stroll. You know, he's doing the right thing. He's scrolling down the right way. He walks the walk, he talks the talk. So believe in what he's saying about HBCUs.
Good. Thank you. Again, I want to thank you for your time and your efforts. And, gonna move this thing forward. And like you say, man, down the road, man, hopefully I can cross your road, cross you one day, and that you can throw one of them hands out, one of them life jackets out. But
no problem.
We'll talk. Thank you
Johnny.
much. And I'll
Much
see
love,
you.
man. Much love.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Take care, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Take care, man. Later.
Later. Hey guys, that's one of our leaders, one of our Trojans, one of our fighters, Mr. Curtis Symonds, to take our schools, HBCU schools, and take them to another level. He's doing something, and his vision is, and Byron Allen's vision is one that we should have had a long time ago, but hey, the old saying, hey, as long as you can get it done when it needs to get done. And I look forward to tuning in to the HBCU Go.tv. Make sure that you tune in. They'll be having several of our football games to watch. Make sure that we got to be able to support organizations like that. As it so happened, so often that we sit back and always talk about coulda, shoulda, woulda, or what we don't have. Man, we have one of the greatest educational systems when it comes to HBCU colleges. As they say, everybody can't go to PWI, and some kids can't handle the HBCU, but for the majority, most can. You got great instructors, you got great teachers, you got people that looks like you, that understands the things that you go through. My alma mater, Texas Southern University, is one reason why I'm here today. I get up on any mountain and scream, Texas Southern, Texas Southern, Texas Southern. Hail, hail the maroon and gray. I know our alma mater song, and those are things that you learn. And they always made me feel like I was something. They always made me feel like I could progress and move forward. And if I did have a hard time at the university, it was some instructor or it was somebody I could go to talk to about the situation. Well, we're coming in, and I wanted to go over. They had the media day in Birmingham, and they came up with the SWAC football predictions. So on the east side, they got Jackson State, who also received 12 number one points. Then next is Florida A&M, who had 7, which running neck and neck. And those teams played tough, and they'll open up this year playing each other. Then you have Alabama A&M, number 3, Alabama State, number 4, Bethune-Cookman, number 5, and Mississippi Valley State, number 6. I would shuffle them around a little bit. I would probably move Alabama State down, move Bethune-Cookman up, and go that way. On the west side, you got Southern University, who also got 11 number 1 points. You got Alcorn State. You got Prairie View A&M. You got Arkansas Pine Bluff. And, of course, you got my alma mater, Texas Southern, bringing up the bottom. Southern, Alcorn, Prairie View. I would have to go with Alcorn because they still got their coach in place, Coach McNair. Southern is Coach Dooley. Of course, he's coached there. He's coached at Grambling. He's been very successful. But I'm going to go with the steady guy of Alcorn State and maybe move Southern to number 2. Then you got the young coach in Bubba McDowell bringing in number 3. I think that's a little high. Grambling State is Grambling State. I think I would move Grambling State to number 3 and move Prairie View down. And I would put them neck and neck with Texas Southern, and I would bring Pine Bluff in at the end. That's my predictions. Who wins the whole SWAC championship? I'm gonna go with Florida A&M. I think last year they just stumbled because when they opened the season, they had to find a quarterback, and I think they've done that. But I'm looking for a great season this year. I'm looking for, of course, Deion Sanders has done a great job at Jackson State. Of course, you're looking for good things out of them. I think the dark horse in the conference will be Mississippi Valley State. Like Ken Evans and Coach Darcy, they're young guys. They got a lot of energy. I thought they played everybody tough last year, and it should get better. They extended Coach Dansby's contract, which I thought was great. Of course, he got Willie Satellite Titan on that staff, and we're looking for big things. I think one of the things everybody has an eye on is Alabama A&M to see how they going to be without their number 1 quarterback, Akia. Hopefully he gets an opportunity on the XFL level because he's gotten released from the NFL. But Alabama A&M, that's the thing. They've had the best quarterback in the league in the last 2 years. So Coach Maynard, which I take my hat off to him, which is a great coach, really never lost anywhere, quarterback himself, I think he will find a way to get that trigger man to play at least at half of Akil's production. You got Andrew Body down at Texas Southern University. Right now, I think he's preseason all conference, which he should be. He's rushed almost 700 yards last year. He threw for over 1,500. He's hard to stop. If you could slow him down, you'll slow Texas Southern down. But if not, Texas Southern can definitely sneak up and beat some folks. So for a whole bunch of things that's going on, look at this guy, he's jumping on. He don't hurt my predictions.
I was trying to stay. I'm trying to stay in the back and just produce, but then I hear you say, FAMU is gonna win the SWAC. Did I hear you say that?
FAMU gonna win the SWAC. You heard me say it. That's my predictions. That's my preseason predictions. What you say?
I know I'm tired. I just got in at 2:00 in the morning from Nashville, Tennessee. I know I'm tired. You said Jackson State is gonna win the SWAC, right?
No, sir. I said Florida A&M. Florida A&M. I think Jackson State will struggle the first game, but Florida A&M, they're bringing in a new offensive coordinator. I never like teams to go east and west, and I think when you throwing when you're in that spread, a lot of times you running that ball east and west instead of running the ball north and south.
I just want to make sure I got this on record. I want to make sure I got this on record because we got folks from the HBCU community listening all over the country.
That's right.
And look, D.I. Love they're gonna be writing this down. They were like, "What done happened to Cole?" I'm not sleeping on FAMU because I picked FAMU to win it last year, and you're right. They stumbled in that opening game. And they never lost again until the FCS playoffs. So
quiet as kept is the SWAC championship game coming up on the first week of football between those two. I really say that. I can't see anybody else competing in that area. It's going to be a couple upsets, I think, as well.
I agree. I agree. And again, for all the Jackson State fans out there, you're bringing in a new offensive coordinator. Yes. Who there is plenty of game film on. Folks know about that. that air raid offense. And
and this offensive coordinator is his first time called. Let's get that straight now.
Yeah,
And he ain't called plays in the SWAC conference. He hadn't coached in the SWAC conference. It's a different type of athlete. But
let me ask you a question on your show. What do you think Hugh Jackson is going to do down at Grambling? There's a lot of energy about him. Not all good off the field, with the Art Browse thing and some of the other stuff that went on. But what do you think he's going to do X's and O's wise at Grambling?
His saving grace is Coach Thornton, the defensive coordinator. I think they will be able to slow people down. Coach Thornton has done a great job since he's been a coordinator through the league, and he's been real solid and always been ranked in the top 10. So I think that's his saving grace. So it'll give him one of those. He's on his honeymoon per se.
Okay.
So this year, they'll play some 500 ball or above, but he's on his honeymoon.
Okay. All right. And then you talked about Coach Dooley over there at Southern and all the different places that he's been. Does he immediately translate the success he had at Prairie View over there at Southern?
See, that's the thing about everybody is saying about Coach Dooley. He's been successful, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And I believe that you do and should be able to be successful or have to be successful. But defenses win championships. And they were real bad on defense last year.
I saw how you put a little sauce on that, little cayenne, Cajun cayenne on that. Last and certainly not least, how come Coach McNair is not being given more love, man? All he does is win. He might start off slow. He might win a game that you didn't think they were supposed to lose, or they might lose a game that you didn't think they weren't supposed to lose. Why didn't he get more love?
Well, sometimes the diamond is right up underneath your nose, and that's what he's been at Alcorn. Mm-hmm. And they don't understand how hard it is to win, and that's all he's ever done was win, and it's hard to, I guess, salute the guy that's been right next to you. You know what I'm saying? And if he leaves, it's gonna hurt that university and hurt that school. He's been doing a great job there. And you gotta quit getting rid of winners, Coach. What's wrong with us?
You
know what I'm saying? It's I can remember Alcorn just not too long ago, Coach was going 0-10, 0-11 every year. And of course, they hard what I'm talking about, the coach that came in, flash and left. And he got things going. And then McNair has kept things down the road.
It would be reminiscent to the coach that left Southern suddenly and went over to Norfolk State. Of course, he didn't win it all over in the MEAC. Coach Odom. Again, I really, really, really think that they're look, get a man the love while you got him. Give him the love while you got him. I'll put it that way. Coach, I mean to bomb your show. Let me get off and you go ahead and do your final remark. But I had to get in here. I said, am I sleepy? Am I drunk? What? Why did Jackson State sound like FAMU? Why did that sound like FAMU?
Hey, look, that's the way I've been seeing it. I've been trying to stay with it. But Coach Symonds does a great job, man. He's solid on defense. He's solid on offense. Kids are very well coached. That one slipped away because he easily would have been a SWAC championship. What was the score? 7-6, something like that?
It was a close game. Yeah, it was a close game. And remember, they changed quarterbacks in the middle of that game. And the younger quarterbacks seemed to, step up and kind of be the answer. But, man, it's a game of inches. You're a coach. It's a game of inches.
And we got a lot of new coaches in the league.
Right.
And that's why when they picked Texas Southern last, Clarence McKinney, he's going into year 4. He shouldn't be picked last. So he's got to be.
So you don't get in trouble. Let me say it so you don't get in trouble. He ain't want no more than.
Yeah.
You can't win. It's been tough. You can't win 3 or 4 games and expect people to say, "Oh yeah, you coming." You got to get there.
Yeah.
You got to get there.
Yeah. So a lot of new coaches, and we'll see. It's going to be interesting. And you can watch it on HBCUGo.tv.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
That's
sir.
where we can go. We can go to our own channel. We need to support our channel, not Fire Stick, we need to support HBCUTV.go.
So that's the thing. If you go to Fire Stick or Roku's TV, you can download HBCUGo.tv. It's a great app. They got great quality. And now Andy's talking about they're upgrading it too. So again, download it on your Fire TV, download it on your Roku streaming device, and you'll have those. And again, you'll catch great HBCU content.
And I always support JM&E. JM&E.
I'm gone. Bye, Coach.
All right. Hey, I'm gone. Thank you, guys. It's been beautiful. I'm in beautiful city, Las Vegas. I'm great. Go hit it. And you know what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. I love you. See you next week. I might have a great, big time person on our television. Thank you. If you feel yourself at the end of the rope, tie a knot, hold on tight, because ain't nobody bad like you.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Monday, July 25th, 2022. Number 1. It was 1 month ago the United States Supreme Court overturned the 49-year-old ruling that provided abortion protection nationwide. In addition to criticizing the court for erasing the reproductive rights of women with the overturn of Roe v. Wade, Vice President Kamala Harris is on the road, leading discussions with citizens in their fights against Republican state lawmakers. During a roundtable discussion in Virginia Saturday, the Vice President focused on the efforts by Republican legislators to make abortion illegal with minimal exceptions. Monday, she'll be in Indianapolis. Number 2, despite a promise to recuse herself in a race-based admission case involving her alma mater, the Supreme Court has devised a way for a new Justice, Ketanji Brown Jackson, to participate, at least in one case. During her confirmation hearing, Judge Jackson stated she would sit out the case involving Harvard University's admission policy. Not only did the court's first black female justice graduate Harvard as an undergrad and Harvard Law, Jackson was also a member of the school's board. The High Court separated the two cases involving race-based admissions at Harvard and the University of North Carolina. Justice Brown will hear arguments and vote in the public university, North Carolina. Number 3, according to President Joe Biden's doctor, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, Mr. Biden continues to improve significantly despite a lingering sore throat from his coronavirus infection. The president has been taking Paxlovid, an antiviral drug that helps reduce the chance of severe illness. Dr. O'Connor wrote that Mr. Biden still has a sore throat, though other symptoms, including a cough, runny nose, and body aches, have diminished considerably. Number 4. Brianna Greer, a 28-year-old black woman, was having a mental crisis on July 14th at her home in Sparta, Georgia. Police were called and she was put in handcuffs and placed in the back of a police car for intoxication. According to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Ms. Greer sustained significant injuries after she fell out of the police car and was pronounced dead at Grady Memorial Hospital in Atlanta 7 days later. Doctors told Brianna's family she suffered 2 skull fractures. The Bureau of Investigation said Brianna's body will be taken to the GBI Crime Laboratory for an autopsy. Number 5. One of the country's largest mobile phone companies will pay up following a cyber attack that swiped important customer information. Following a class action lawsuit, T-Mobile has agreed to pay $350 million to customers after it was disclosed that personal data was stolen through the cyber attack. Nearly 80 million U.S. residents were affected by the breach. In addition to Social Security numbers, other information included names and information from driver's license or other identification. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Remember, negative thoughts create a negative mindset. Be positive. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with our comedians, Huggy Lowdown, Chris Paul, and social justice activist Coy Malone as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
S3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.